It's time for Real Talk with Brian and Dan, the weekly talk radio show dedicated to discussing important real estate topics, plus insight into the local community. With a combined experience of over 50 years as local real estate brokers from the Eastside real estate team at Keller Williams Realty Bellevue. Here's your hosts, Brian Levitt and Dan Edwards.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Real Talk with Brian and Dan. It's Wednesday, May 15th, 2019. Thanks for joining us today. We have a great show lined up. We have Stephen Walter from Legacy Estate Planning and Stephen Cohen from IBA, or International Business Associates. They're business brokers. But first, let's have some Real Talk. All right, we're going to talk about April's numbers. April's inventory numbers are increasing this season for selling. Keep in mind, we're still in a friendly seller's market. In April, the number of total active listings in King County rose from 78.46% from 2,591 last year to 4,624. On the east side, our inventory increased 78% as well year over year from April of 2018. Now, these numbers may look drastic, Brian, but it was pretty up from last month. What do you think?
You know, what I think is there's a lot more inventory for buyers to choose from, yet we're still in a very robust seller's market.
Yeah.
So sellers, a year ago I might see five to 10 offers on a hot listing. Today I'm seeing 2 good ones, and all it takes is 1 good one.
Right.
But what that means for buyers is less competition and more selection. So you know what they say, Dan?
It's always
never been a better time to buy.
That's right.
So pending sales were up and closed sales were down. According to our King County home sales report, pending sales across King County also showed an increase of 15.13%, and Eastside pending sales were up 22.13%. King County closed sales were about the same as last April, down 0.9%. Eastside closed sales also decreased by 1.33%.
Yeah, 0.9%.
So
that's like
pretty
nothing.
stable. That's nothing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your thoughts on that, Dan?
So the interesting part, we talked last month when we did these numbers, we talked about how inventory from Snowmageddon was going to be delayed to the market, and pending and closed sales were going to be delayed as well. So these numbers are showing the closed sales being even with what they were last year means they were affected by the homes that went pending in March, right? And pending sales being up, that's actually pretty good, because as we saw last year, we were running into a situation where we were having a reduction in pending sales and a reduction in closed sales and an increase in inventory. So as I watch that month after month, I'm trying to see where are we headed next? Where are we going next? And to me, that's a good sign to show high pending sales. It actually... Well, it's a good news for sellers. It means inventory's moving. Like
right.
If you get your home on the market, it's moving.
We're peak sales season. Right now,
definitely.
So the median house sales price in King County is showing the effects of the ability of buyers to choose. It dropped down 3.85% over last year to $625,000, and a median sales price on the east side saw a decrease of 1.92% down to $835,500.
Yeah, I see that as stabilization, right? Like if you look at the previous month it was like $825. This month it's $835. So it's month over month it's going up, but year over year it's kind of bouncing back and forth because essentially we're just seeing that volatility that comes with a normalization in the market.
Right.
So,
and another thing I think is when you look at these numbers, the median numbers, I'm seeing a little bit of slowing in the luxury market. So the upper end, which skews the number downward slightly when those higher end sales slow.
Yeah, and in addition to that, last week we talked about how hot the economy was and what that kind of played into what's going on with how hot it is. But there's also a concern right now nationwide about a possible recession coming up. Now, we were talking about that off the air. Right. What are your thoughts on the possible recession?
I don't think for a while. I mean, I'm looking at what's happening right now with, the stock market bump we saw this week, and the tariff situation. But you look at employment figures, you look at the overall economy, dang, it's strong.
Yeah.
And so what I'm reading with people that are supposedly in the know is not yet. Consumer confidence, I think, is a little lower than what the pros have to say.
Yeah.
I think you read some of the same reports I did.
Okay.
And, the 3 out of the 4 people whose reports I read said, we will eventually see a recession, but not yet.
Yeah, what goes up must come down.
Right.
It's just the law of economics. There's pressure in both directions, and the reasons for it are numerous. That's why we kind of see a volatility in there.
One of the things I read that struck me was the comment that nobody's seeing us move towards anything we had like 2008, but that we may feel the effects of even a lesser recession more because it's been so good for so long.
Right.
So we'll all feel it, but even in that, there'll be wonderful, exciting investment opportunities.
You know, it's like going 80 miles an hour on the freeway. I mean, wait, 60. I only go 60 on the freeway. It's like going 60 miles an hour on the freeway, and then when you take the exit, how much slower you feel like you're going,
right.
even though you're still
right.
going fast. That's kind of the
That's
concept.
a good analogy. Yep.
Hey, did you see the news about Washington State?
I didn't. Tell me.
U.S. Was it U.S. News? I think came out with Washington State being the top state to live in.
Really? That's exciting. That's great.
Yeah, it's amazing. One of our studio's guests. I know what you're thinking, Stephen. You're like, oh, great, more people coming here. I mean, that's what Brian and I get excited about. But
my son Ben this morning, he's telling me, "Okay, remember, stick with the line. It always rains here."
Yeah, that's right.
And this guy, he's a numbers kid. He says, "No, he starts listing off all the cities that rain more than Seattle." But he says, "But hold the line so that people don't move here."
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
it's our
guess
secret.
what, folks? It rains here 2 minutes a day.
So today was like the first day of rain in how many days?
2 weeks at least.
More than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, my allergies were killing me. It's nice to have some liquid sunshine to wash away that stuff. So, well, that is our Real Talk for this segment. Brian, you got any other final thoughts before we head on to our commercial break?
Not at this point. I'll have some later.
That's right.
A couple exciting things to share.
All right, cool.
But,
so after the break, we're going to be, let's see. Oh, yes, I did have one more thought, actually. But I'm going to skip it because it sounds like we're heading off to break. So after the break, we're going to talk with, let's see, who's first? Oh, our mortgage moment. So, we're going to be talking to
Wes Graham, a mortgage guy.
Yeah, all right.
If he can't do it, nobody can.
All right.
So we'll get Wes going here.
Come back after the break.